Be a part of the best pro wrestling podcast today at patreon.com/Steve and Larson. Enjoy tons of bonus videos, including patron-only live shows, gameplay, and vintage 10 for the wins, access to podcast question threads, the Friendo Care Package, and so much more. Support Going In Raw today at patreon.com/Steve and Larson.
Boys and girls, this is the Undisputed Era. Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly.
Hello, Steve. Hello, Larson. It's me, Dexter Loomis, NXT Superstar. So here's my shout out to the Going In Raw podcast. Clever name.
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson. Found wherever audio podcasts can be found, and of course, taped live at Twitch, twitch.tv/Steve and Larson. We've got a new NXT champion. Overtime from the Iron Man match happened at the beginning of tonight's episode of NXT. I thought it was a pretty decent match between Finn Balor, Adam Cole. Basically turned out the way we figured it would. Finn Balor walks away with the NXT championship. Wasn't really, I mean, Adam Cole really had control over the second half of this match after Finn had control for much of it. And then Finn ended up getting the win. So now I get the question is, I guess the question we could talk about at the head of the show here.
Yeah.
Adam Cole was very diplomatic and sportsman-like in loss.
Which is
congratulatory, yeah.
Unlike Adam Cole in a lot of respects, even gave Finn a too sweet backstage.
You know what? I thought that was one of the stronger things. I would love to see more of that kind of stuff going forward. I thought that was a really cool, small little moment where you see, even if right after that Adam Cole was back in character as, you know, the cocky Adam Cole guy, in that moment, which really felt genuine and real, you see him backstage congratulating him and then walking away, and then Finn gets back into character for a quick interview.
Yeah.
So what happens next for these two guys? Finn Balor, once again, NXT champion. I mean, you could look at any of the guys that I guess he fought, the other competitors in that Iron Man match, as potential candidates for him to face off. I don't know. What do you think? Where do you think he goes from here?
Something tells me Finn's holding on to that belt probably until when Karrion Kross returns, if he returns to NXT, rather than just going straight to the main roster. You would think it would be, Ciampa or Gargano. I think Ciampa maybe not first, but at some point. You know who would have been great for an initial challenger, which I don't think they'll do because this person already has a belt, Damien Priest. Yeah. You know, a lot of the names match up really good with Finn Balor. I mean, he's not really a heel. He's not really a face. He fits that, you know, he could pretty much take on anybody and it'll make sense. I think for right now anyways, Ciampa makes the most sense. They haven't really had an opportunity, if I'm not mistaken, to mix it up. Am I wrong about that? Did they ever have I think they had a match after Finn came back.
Okay. Did they have like a takeover match?
No.
Okay. All right. That could be a potential. That's a pretty big headliner for the next takeover, maybe. I think that's coming up in just October, right?
October, about a month,
that's right, a little less than a month. And then they announced another takeover, I think, for December, but there's no scheduled one for Survivor Series. So yeah, it's kind of, NXT is in such a weird state right now where there seems to be more action, potential action surrounding the North American title, because you've got Bronson Reed on the come up. You've got Thatch, you know, obviously gunning after. He's going to be next for Damien Priest. You've got a lot of guys sort of coming up, whereas, you know, Adam Cole, I don't know what's going to happen with him. You know, he had that interview during the show, and he was like, well, Finn was a better man tonight, but he better make sure I don't get another opportunity because if he does, I'll probably beat him or something. Anyways, I'm going to go this way.
Tired, per se, but he, like the cockiness, the arrogance. Like an air coming out of a balloon after you let it go, gone.
That was just my metaphor for sort of where he's at right now. Like, he's literally done everything. He's even been celebrity guy, and he's past that now.
He's had every title. He's been celebrity guy. Mm-hmm. The one thing he hasn't had is a face run. So if he's sticking around NXT for a little bit, that's like the one thing he could do, or he'll bide his time until they do this next draft, whether that happens in a month or so or not. Maybe they'll have the next draft after the next takeover. He can kind of have his NXT swan song there and then move on to something else.
Yeah, that could be. I thought there were two really, really fun matches tonight. I thought that one was really good, and I thought the closer was,
the main event was good. Yeah,
really, really spectacular stuff. I thought that was really fun.
It was brutal, told a good story. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was pretty solid. It was cool to see Kushida back, beating the hell out of Velveteen Dream.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Is he supposed to be the heel here?
Who?
Kushida.
No, Velveteen Dream's the heel. He's the one that beat up Kushida in the first place.
Okay, the only reason I'm saying that, the only reason I'm saying that is because commentary literally used the language when somebody has a turn, and it was, Kushida, he's got a new attitude. What is going on with this new attitude? The words new attitude always, and I was thinking, they're like, wait, is he supposed to be the bad guy here? I thought he's beating up the bad guy, the guy who like did all that stuff to him. Yeah. And he wouldn't let go, and the ref said, they're like, usually Kushida's like pretty good-natured guy, but look at him. Look at what he's doing, bad things now. And I'm like, but he's beating up a bad guy. Doesn't that make him a good guy?
He is beating up a bad guy who a few weeks back beat him up.
Yeah. So anyways, we'll see how that plays out. It was good to see Kushida, and it was good to see some intensity, because that's something that they really haven't, said, hey, go out there and like be really intense.
Kind of the low point for the show for me was not so much performance of this Johnny Tegan stuff. The production quality was
Larson
garbage,
dude. So John was good. Johnny was good in this. He was the lone good thing about it.
I thought Candace at moments was good. Part of the problem of the editing, the sound editing especially, was terrible.
What was the deal with the sound editing?
It was like a student film 101 type production.
Speaking of student film, this red light is killing me over here. Yeah, dude.
The audio editing was so bad. So bad.
It would like drop out. Like, do they not know what room tone is? For people who don't know what room tone is, when you're doing your audio, when you're filming your thing, you have everybody shut up for a second, and you just let the audio recorder record on the microphone so that it doesn't like all of a sudden there's no sound. There's always a tone, some amount of sound going on in a room. This is 101. This is one of
basic stuff.
But I'll be honest with you, man. That's great that you at least said Candace had some good I didn't see it. These people shouldn't be acting. John's the only person who should be acting. I thought Tegan was laughing. She was almost laughing through the entire end bit where she was supposed to be like intense and like she says F you to John. I thought the F you was good. But she dumps the spaghetti on Johnny and then she like breaks a TV or whatever. Like this was I from 2 minutes in, I was like, this is horrible.
Yeah, it wasn't very good.
That's horrible. Oh, thank you, Maggie, for the gifted subs there. It was very nice.
Part of it, too, is like, yeah, John was fine. You're right about Tegan. It wasn't like Candace was across the board great or bad. I thought she had moments. There was some delivery that deliveries I thought was good. But none of them were helped by how poorly this was produced.
Yeah, this was an ill-conceived segment.
It felt like, hey, we have an hour to do this.
And an hour to edit it.
Yeah, and here we got to get this thing on tape.
Yeah,
good or bad, we got to get it on tape. And that was their prime directive for this particular thing. And I guess if that is their prime directive, mission accomplished. Doesn't mean it's good though.
It's fun to it's fun to talk crap about it though, because production mishaps, like you and one of the things that you and I, unfortunately, we haven't done in a little while, and of course this year we literally couldn't do it. Was go to the local. Our friend runs the local big film festival in town, and on the final night of that film festival, they always run the 10x10s, which are the community produced. You have like 10 days to make a 10-minute or less film.
And I have won a couple awards for some of my 10x10s, but knowing understandably completely they're very amateur productions, and some of them are and they're just fun to watch. It's fun. It's fun, number one, for people to be creative, but it's also, in good nature, it's fun to tear them apart. It's fun to make fun of them. And that's what this is. Sometimes it's just fun to make fun of really bad filmmaking, and that's what this is. But otherwise, I thought it was a pretty solid episode. You're right. That was totally the low point. Even, dude, well, it was weird. Even the Thatch can seemed poorly produced, worse than the previous Thatch can segments.
Yeah, a bit. It seemed.
Was Borash doing something else or something? What was going on with that?
I don't know. It's strange.
Maybe he produced. Didn't they do like another? Maybe he produced the Britt Baker match or something. The other cinematic match.
Wait, what?
Nothing. I'm just joking. Because WWE hasn't had a cinematic match in a while.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna do those anymore.
Probably not. Anyways, I'm getting Steve notes out. The episode, like we said, started with Fix versus Adam Cole. Yeah, I thought this was good. If you want to go over the finish or whatever you liked about the match while I do this.
I kind of enjoyed the very beginning of the match more than the rest of it in a lot of ways, because it was really good, smooth, fast, like technical ground-based stuff, but it never, like, no particular sequence overstayed its welcome. I thought it was actually really well done. The kind of feeling out process, they actually made it kind of exciting because there was a lot of counter wrestling. I thought it was really good.
Whenever two guys, I always think, like, whenever two guys do a lockups can look really good. They 90% of the time they don't. 90% of the time they just come off as the routine way to start a match. Mm-hmm. And when two guys, like if you watch New Japan wrestling, when they lock up there, you think that could be a finish.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There's so much
like
intensity behind a
and that's what this was. It was very routine, like you said, mat-based wrestling that just looked so intense. When Finn had Cole's arm and his knee like up against the bottom part of his jaw, and like the ref kept on asking Cole if he wanted to give up. We're 5 minutes deep in the match. Like, this is something that on a SmackDown somebody would just rally from, and this guy is like, man, I might have to give up here. That was some really good stuff. I agree with you. I really like that part of the match.
Yeah, the beginning stuff was really good. Yeah, once they get to, the rest of the match wasn't bad. But
it was pretty standard PWG type stuff.
Pretty standard, kind of, Finn and Adam Cole greatest hits type moves. Mm-hmm. It seemed like early on, especially post technical sequence, Cole was really targeting Finn's neck, whereas Finn was going after Cole's ribs. Mm-hmm. That was the story they were telling, at least on commentary. Mm-hmm. We didn't get to see a Panama Sunrise, which is a bummer, but we got to see pretty much everything else. We got to see a last shot 1.0 from Adam Cole. Mm-hmm. But yeah, the finish was pretty cool. So earlier on, Finn hits a coup de grace. Cole kicks out, and commentary makes a point of saying no one's ever kicked out of a coup de grace, which I don't know if that's true or not.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Did Finn hit one on Brock Lesnar during their match? Because if he Brock kicked out.
That was where I went to in my head. I was like, wait a second. He fought Brock.
Yeah.
I wonder if he hit a coup de grace there. But maybe he didn't. Maybe not.
But they were looking to protect his finish. So Adam Cole hits last shot. Finn kicks out. So Adam Cole goes to the top looking for Panama Sunrise. He jumps off. Finn catches him over his shoulders. Fireman's carry. Cole escapes. Finn kind of hits like a reverse 1916. Goes up top looking for coup de grace again. Cole super kicks his leg towards the end of the match. Latter half of the match, Cole was really working over Finn's leg, couple figure fours. And so they're both up there. And then Finn Balor just DDTs him. Like, they're both standing on the top rope. Finn Balor DDTs him. 1916 off the top to get the win. Mm-hmm. Fun enough match. Cool to see Finn with that belt again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. I mean, you got Survivor Series coming up in about, I guess 2 months.
Yeah, 2.5 months.
Yeah, 2.5 months. I mean, that'll be, that he'll still have that title then. And you want like a big name. I mean, he's a great representative for NXT.
So people are saying that, yes, he did hit one on Brock. Brock did kick out and went right into a Kimura.
Okay. All right.
That's right. Now I remember that. now.
I mean, that's sort of the maybe they meant in NXT. Maybe they're two different universes. Who knows? I mean, I had to really think about it because, the coup de grace is a really protected finisher.
Yeah.
Brock's matches are just special.
Yeah.
Anyways,
that's something else. After that, we had a Rhea Ripley interview. She just said, "Hey, we're gonna be in this cage, you and I, Mercedes. I'm gonna show you why I'm the Nightmare."
Yeah, it was just a very pro wrestling promo. I actually really liked Mercedes' response to that. I thought Mercedes' response to it was actually really a bit better than Rhea Ripley's professional wrestling promo. So after that, we had that backstage moment where Finn gets congratulated and too-sweeted by Adam Cole.
Well, I like how they set it up, too, where it's like Triple H and Regal kind of going through backstage, walking up to him.
It was very documentary-ish.
It felt very spontaneous.
Yeah, it was like, what's that Scorsese band documentary, The Last Waltz?
Yeah.
And then so Finn sort of does an impromptu interview. He says, or I like that he was like, when he was hugging Triple H, he was like, here we go again, right? Here we go again. And then his interview is pretty standard stuff. He just said he's got to prove himself or something like that.
He said, this is why I came back to NXT, and points at the belt.
After that, we launched straight into like a really lovely moment to like cheesy Robert Stone. He had an interview. Shotzi shows up, and before he really says much of anything, and he's like, "Hey, what's going on?" He tries to give her a fist bump.
Well, no, he says to Mackenzie, she's like, "Well, so why'd you bring me here?" He says, "I brought you here because I know things that no one else does, like where stuff is." And he enters the room, and there's Shotzi's tank.
Okay.
Take something to it, and that's when Shotzi runs in. She's like, "Hey, what are you doing?"
Oh, my bad. Okay.
And he's like, "Oh, I'm not doing anything." And then she clocks him. Leah runs in, clocks Shotzi. In the process of them brawling, Aaliyah takes out Io. So Io chases Aaliyah to the ring. Her and Shotzi corner Aaliyah. They take turns hitting her. Stone goes up top. Shotzi pushes Io out of the way as Robert Stone jumps, gut punches him. And then Shotzi hits a senton on Aaliyah. Io hits a moonsault and Stone. And then Shotzi picks up Io's belt, about to give it to her, pulls it back, and then Io snatches it out of her hand. And they have a match next week, and that should be really good.
That should be a really good match. Shotzi's going to be, within 12 months, she's going to be a champion, dude.
Oh, yeah.
After that, we had the first segment of Candice and John at home.
John.
And she's like, Johnny, I really need this. I really need Tegan in my life. So Tegan comes to the door. He's like, okay, I'll be good. So Tegan comes to the door. He opens it up, and immediately he's just making it awkward. He's like, well, you not bringing pizza? And she's like, look, that was just... he's like, oh, no, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. He's like, hey, hi, up high, down low. Too slow. We're all joking here. It was pretty funny. Johnny. I really like this Johnny persona. I think he's hilarious. Anyways, they sit down. Candice is like, okay, let's talk. And that's going to continue later on.
Yeah.
But before that, we had Thatch's Thatch Can film lesson. Know your enemy. Damien Priest.
Yes.
He talks about Damien Priest when he's doing some movies, leaving his arm exposed. Boom. Take advantage of that. He's like, look at this here. He's pausing to pose. Take advantage of that. And then he ends with saying, he's talking about his party antics, the forever party. He says, life is not a party. It grinds you down until you quit, much like being in a match with me.
That was good.
I thought that was all good stuff. Dude, okay, when is the Damien Priest interview? It's later.
Later, yeah.
Damien
There were like two modes in his interview. Like when he was talking crap about Thatch, I thought, okay, he seems to be into it. And then after, when he was talking about partying is when he seemed disinterested. Am I wrong about that?
No, your insights into Damien Priest really should be a book. They're amazing because I didn't even think about it, but you're totally right. You're totally right. He had one line in that interview that freaked me out, dude, but it might solve this math that we've been racking our brains over.
Which one?
He said, there's no way I'm going to lose this title on my first defense. Larson, I feel like he might lose the title on his first defense. He might be in the draft. He might be going to Maine. He might
be leader of Retribution.
Exactly. He could be. Could you imagine him and Dijak as both members of Retribution?
Be pretty crazy.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah, he might lose. After the Thatch's Thatch Can film study session, we had Velveteen Dream take on Ashanti the Adonis.
Tahuti Miles.
Oh, they give him a new name?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's just Tahuti Miles. I wrote down Tahuti Miles, and I was like, did they just call him Adonis? I thought that was did they get a NWO Tahuti Miles? And then I looked up Wrestle Talk NXT new name for a guy. I was like, oh snap, okay.
I mean, just between the name and like how he carried himself, I didn't even recognize him.
This is a brand new guy.
Yeah,
but he's been doing a thing on 205 because like we don't watch 205, so he's been doing 205, and that's like when I saw a picture of me the other day, I was like, who's that guy's got some personality to him? And I was like, oh, it's Tahuti Miles. That's weird. Yeah. Adonis.
I kind of like Tahuti Miles as his name better, I'll be honest.
Tahuti's got a great ring.
It's a good name.
Yeah.
It's a good name. Anyways, he put up a bit of a fight against Velveteen Dream. I guess it makes sense. Well, I thought that, if this was like a brand new Performance Center recruit, it's like, this guy looks pretty good. Like his drop kick was really good. Mm-hmm. Makes sense. It's Tahuti.
The thing that I really liked, though, is that he was trying to out-weird Velveteen Dream. Because Velveteen Dream was like, oh, look at your pants. Look at my pants. He's trying to compare pants or something. And then when he like gets him down on the ground or whatever, he's like, oh, you want to be cute? I can be cute. And that pissed off Velveteen Dream. He's like, there's one weird guy around here, and it's going to be me.
So the finish of this, after Tahuti, Ashanti goes on a run. He's looking for a super kick, misses, nearly kicks the ref. And that bit of a distraction allows Velveteen Dream to poke Tahuti in the eyes, hits a DVD for the win. Dream has a mic. He's about to drop a promo. Kushida runs in, attacks Dream. There's a bunch of refs to try to break it up. And Dream's like reaching out to bring Kushida back on the ring. And so Kushida holds on to his arm and then pulls him into the ring post twice and then locks in a cross arm breaker. That's pretty great.
That should be a fun match. That should be cool. I'm just happy to see Kushida back.
Agreed.
After that, we had sort of a Breezango interview / video package type thing. I mean, the most noticeable thing here is that they're not doing their raspy voice. I know that that's been a thing, but like this was the most obvious. This is the most obvious I've seen it. How they're just speaking like dudes. There's like one time when Fandango went into his raspy voice.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they're going to have a match against Imperium next week. I don't know. I mean, they're starting up NXT UK. I can't imagine Imperium's going to win this match. It might be a wonk finish with LDF, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. I mean, this could be, especially with NXT UK coming back, it could be a way to, say goodbye to Imperium on NXT Prime.
I mean, if it's probably going to be a way to legitimize Breezango for Legado del Fantasma because they're probably going to take those titles off.
Oh, I would suspect, yeah.
After that, we had more awkward meal at the Garganos, and they're sitting there eating, and Johnny basically just says, so is it just me or is this really uncomfortable? Is it just me? Is it because of me? All right, it's totally me. That's fine. I'll leave. I'll go upstairs and eat my food. So
yeah, that was fun.
He gets his food. He goes upstairs. I have it written down in my notes here. This is so amateurish because I think at that point I noticed the sound drop during that one cut. Anyways,
there was one on I think a Candice line where she finishes her line. They cut at the end of the line, but disregarding the fact that there was some room ambiance. So there was a little bit of reverberation on her voice. So it's just this hard cut. Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Crossfades you could use.
Yeah, that's what I heard too. So anyways, they don't even finish things up. It's just sort of
because she's like
lingers there.
Candice says, "Hey, I want you to face up to your mistakes," and Tegan's like, "Hold on, you're the one that betrayed me." And Candice says, "I think the issue is that you don't understand the Gargano way." Tegan says, "Yeah, I just don't agree with it. It's like your husband has changed." And Candice says, "No, this has always been me. This is just another side of me. Hey, I've always had your back, right, Tegan? Why would this be any different? What do you have to lose?"
I'm glad you wrote all that down because I was thoroughly disinterested. After that, I mean, look, this match is going to be really good. It's going to be a killer match because it's going to be a match, maybe two. It's going to be really good. I don't care about this. I don't want to see people drink wine. After that, we had your favorite wrestler right now, Bronson Reed.
Great.
Versus Austin Theory. Larson, what was your take on this match? I gave it 3.25 stars.
It was a good enough match. Austin Theory got way too much offense.
That's what I thought.
That's exactly what I figured.
Like when Theory started his comeback during the commercial break, I was like, I wish they'd just gone to instead of picture-in-picture commercial breaks. I don't have to see any of this. I just want to see Bronson Reed destroy him.
Well, that happened during the first half of the match.
And the second half, I know, but I just want to see. I don't want to see Austin Theory get any offense in.
Yeah, well, he got a little bit of offense in. But basically, this was Bronson Reed just manhandling.
I will give Austin Theory credit. He was bumping all over the ring for Bronson.
Oh, he was selling big time.
Bronson did like an old dusty 12-6 elbow, and Austin Theory pretty much did like a full flip before doing the bump. So I mean, hats off to Austin Theory for going out there and doing his best to make Bronson Reed look like a star. Bronson Reed is a star, man.
He's colossal star.
He's got personality. He puts on fun matches. Like his whole packaging is really good. You can tell they got designs for this guy. They got hopes for this guy.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be huge, man. I mean, there's a giant, babyface Keith Lee sized hole in NXT right now, and he's filling it. That's the guy right there. He'll be North American champion. He'll take that title off of Thatch when Thatch wins it from Damian Priest in about
next week. Yes,
next week exactly. So anyways, Theory looks to go. He tries to get an ATL, can't hit it. Reed hits a senton
Reed
and
was
a splash.
destroying his back the entire match.
Yeah, at one point I said Theory looks like he wants to throw up. I think it was after the Jagged Edge. So anyways, yeah, he gets a senton and a splash for 3.
Yeah.
After that, we had Adam Cole's interview. He talked about this a little bit. He said, "Hey, I'm disappointed, but the better man won tonight. Got respect for Finn, but he better hope I don't get another shot because I don't know, maybe I'll win or something. Maybe not. Probably not.
Maybe the outcome will be different. I don't know. Maybe I'll be on SmackDown by then."
And he says, "Oh yeah, also undisputed," and he walks away.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll be on SmackDown. Who knows?
Next, Mercedes Martinez interview. She starts this all with an analogy about
a lion,
about lions going after the top lion rather than just the ones that are kind of like the weaker lions essentially. And then she calls Rhea a bad woman, but she's not as bad as her. And she says when that cage door shuts, she's going to keep going till there's nothing left of Rhea.
I really wish she would have just kept this entire thing an allegory about lions. Don't talk about Rhea. Just talk about lions. And then walk away.
Lando, I meant to mention this. Lando here in chat. Theory had Brock's purple face in that match. He did. Reed put him in a headlock, and the rest of the match he had purple face.
It was purple. I remember that. Yeah. After that, we had Roderick Strong, probably my favorite wrestler right now, versus Killian Dain. I love this because he won with a jumping knee. That was
great.
Awesome. That was great. So yeah, I like this. Strong, of course, Undisputed Era. He starts out just sort of annoying Dain. He give him a chop, some, sort of evasion, whacking him on the head and stuff like that. Of course, the second he takes his eyes off Killian Dain, does his strength thing. So basically it's a power game, but Bob Fish distracts, and so Strong got the jumping knee for the win. That slam that Dain had on Strong was nasty.
Right before he was about to go for the Vader bomb?
Yeah. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
After that, the Undisputed Era these two guys in the Undisputed Era beat down Killian Dain. We I figured this was going to happen. Drake Maverick comes down with a steel pipe to ward them off, but the Undisputed Era eventually get the upper hand. They beat the crap out of him. Dain gets the pipe, runs them off, and then goes for Drake, throws down the pipe, and he's like, "No, I'm not going to beat up this guy. He just came out to help me."
Yeah.
But Drake, biting off a little more than he can chew, goes over there, presses luck, tries to go for the handshake, and instead he eats a giant haymaker straight to the face.
Yeah.
And he says, "I'm nae your friend."
Yeah. Damo doesn't want any friends. Doesn't want any friends. Anyways, we're back to the Gargano household. Candice and Tegan have apparently reached some sort of understanding, and
They're
Candice
toasting.
offers up a toast to Candice being the next women's champion, and Tegan's all, "Hold up. Why are you going to be the next champion?" And Candice says, "Well, we're doing things my way now. You already had your chance. It didn't go so well, so it just makes sense." And then there's a little back and forth. Because the audio quality was crap, which led to Candice throwing a salad at Tegan. And then Tegan takes her drink, throws it in Candice's face. They start arguing. This brings Johnny downstairs. I guess he must have finished his meal by then. Calls Tegan a horrible person and a bad friend. Tegan says, "Hey, Johnny, fuck you." dumps a bowl of spaghetti on him. And then she starts to leave, and Candace, I don't know what it was, has something, throws it at Tegan. Tegan dodges it, and so this thing hits the TV and cracks the screen. Tegan leaves. Candace gives chase, and Johnny is just really upset that his TV got busted.
I like that Tegan ran. She ran out of the house. Yeah, I thought this was it. Look, this was so silly. Like I said earlier, like from them yelling at each other, like I think from the salad being thrown on her to like the glass somewhere in there, Tegan just started. She had the biggest grin on her face. She was just smiling through this entire sequence. And you think she'd be infuriated? She was just smiling.
Well, it's like a food fight. Food fights are fun.
Yeah, no, the fuck you was really solid. Who said that? Yoshibul, that should be allowed here in chat. To point out that the fuck you was solid. That was well delivered. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, food fights are fun, I guess, if it's within the proper context.
Yeah, totally.
This is two people who really don't like each other at the moment. I don't think smiling is the appropriate emotion you want to be conveying.
Maybe what they should have done is it's called an audible in the moment. They see Tegan smiling over the food fight. Say, hey, maybe this is what brings the two of you together.
Just avoid the match altogether. Yeah, that's good. Then they'd be
at
a
least
tag
for the time
team.
being.
That'd be a killer tag team, by the way.
Great, be a tag team for a little bit. Then they have the feud down the line. All right, let's talk about this Damien Priest interview. So he's informed that he has a match against Thatch next week, and then Priest just calls him ugly, and says, "Well, he doesn't have to spend time watching film or watch anything. I'll tell him my game plan. I'm gonna kick him. I'm gonna punch him until I rearrange his face. It can't get any worse." And he says the only thing Thatch should expect is a sweet reckoning. And after I win,
Damien,
celebrate.
Damien, come on, remember your line. Really easy line.
Party
forever. It's party forever.
Party forever. Yeah, you're invited.
We had our main event: Rhea Ripley versus Mercedes Martinez in a steel cage.
Yeah, this delivered. You knew it was going to be pretty physical because Mercedes walked to the ring with kendo stick. As soon as she got to ring, she put kendo stick and a bunch of chairs in the ring. Was the process of getting table when Rhea runs out behind, attacks her, pins her between door and cage, and slams the door on her several times. Tosses her in the ring, puts table in two, closes the door. It's locked. Then Mercedes goes after Rhea, tosses her around the cage a few times. Really fun match. The chairs didn't really come into play apart from a power slam on it, although Mercedes took a couple swings at Rhea with them, missed both times. That German suplex spot where Mercedes was in the tree of woe, Rhea was stomping on her a bit, went to the second rope, I think, and then Mercedes did the like what Drew McIntyre does. Does the sit-up German suplex. That looked nasty. It looked like that hurt.
Yeah, that looked good.
Finish was really fun. So towards the finish, Mercedes sets up a table towards the corner, set up fully. She's trying to hit a perfect plex off the top on Rhea. Rhea fights it off, ends up hitting Riptide through the table, and gets the win that way. For the last third of the match, Robert Stone was just kind of dangling over the edge of the cage after Rhea beat him up a little bit. Just kind of there.
Yeah, one thing that stood out to me. So obviously, Rhea has gone through a minor aesthetic adjustment with like the more bleach hair. She looked that looked like WrestleMania attire.
Yeah,
like she looked like her outfit was great, and I really
shade of maroon purple on her pants.
And just really cool. Like all the little accoutrements and stuff. It really feels like they are looking to, I don't know what happened with that whole Charlotte business. If they meant it to be one, it honestly feels like something really big was supposed to happen there. And something changed, like a hard pivot of some sort. But it seems like
they didn't expect Charlotte to be out.
That could be. That's very likely. And maybe Rhea was supposed to get that back from Charlotte. But for whatever reason, it looks like they're trying to get Rhea back on track because early part of this year or later part of last year or whatever it was, she was a big star, and for whatever reason they have floundered with her throughout most of this year. Dang MQ also points out that Josiah Williams came back to NXT. He posted on his Twitter or Instagram or one of them a picture of him on the NXT set on the stage there, and he said something like things come full circle or something like that. So that's cool. Really awesome, man. Maybe I know. So people kind of schooled us on the fact that WWE they actually do have people making music for them right now.
Mm-hmm. Death Rebel.
That sounds right. I don't remember.
I think that's the group.
If they were smart, they'd get Josiah Williams to do some theme music. Maybe they get Keith Lee a new theme song.
There you go.
They're friends. So anyways. Let's open it up to some questions. For the people on Twitch and the people who might have noticed the cut there during the Damian Priest laughs we were having. I had a power outage here.
Power outage. Raw logo's up again. Thank you, Rozzy, for mentioning that.
Oh no, I changed that before we started the thing again.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah. No,
I just went back in time a little bit.
No, it's fine. It's good.
Highlighted messages. So it's good. Good catch.
Good catch. Good catch. All. Teamwork. Let me open up the Patreon here.
Very well. Thank you, Scott Hawks, for the sub. Jorge D, who from AEW would fit better in NXT? He says, for me, it would be Shida. Santana and Ortiz.
Yeah, that's the answer.
The fit would be good. They might actually utilize them more. I don't know.
Yeah. That's the best answer. Maybe the Hybrid 2. Actually, really, really fun tag team.
Yeah, they are. They are really good.
But I mean, with WWE, dude, you know how it is. It's if WWE wanted to focus on tag teams, they would focus on tag teams, but they don't, and that's why there's not a lot of stuff going on there with tag teams, which is why Santana Ortiz probably not there. Anyways, let's see here, Patreon. Power Grid, don't fail me now.
Yeah, no. Well, we got the recap done. So
if this podcast, I'll just say it right now, man. If this podcast drops out, that's it. That's done. That's it. It might be a first. We've never really left without a proper outro.
Yeah, probably not.
View.
Where was I here? Dr. Lipkin, Maine has Money in the Bank and Royal Rumble as its big gimmick matches. NXT has War Games. What is another event match that NXT could make an annual thing?
I always love this question because we usually have like a different answer for it every time. I would say you would do the Chamber of Horrors. Mm-hmm. Just put an electric chair in the middle of the ring. They could have fun with that. I could see Damian Priest being in an electric chair.
Then you have to bring back Halloween Havoc for that too.
Oh yeah, of course. Well, that's a no-brainer right
there. The 3-layer Doomsday cage.
Mm-hmm. That's good. But it's like Full Sail, so like you can't. And it would just be like 3 really small cages on top of each other.
One.
Yeah.
And then instead of having the second and third stacked on top, they're just right next to each other.
They're next to each other. That's good. I like that. But they're still pretty small.
Yeah, they're still pretty small.
Let's see here. Is it Rain Trigger? Is it better for both companies if they're in competition on Wednesday or somebody moves to Tuesday or Thursday? I have to think it's better for both companies if they're on separate nights. I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer. I mean, they both perform better when there's no competition. Now, I guess there's maybe a case to be made, although it seems like the overlap between the two, the deciding factor is within the range of like 150,000 total viewers. If you're looking just at total viewership, there seems to be an overlap of about 150,000 where that's like around the boost AEW gets when there's no competition. Same with NXT. And if Vince has it in his head that the best way to hurt his competition is to try to chip away at their growth, then I guess keeping NXT is there. But I'm with you when we talked about this before.
worry about your own house and you'll be fine, Vince.
Exactly.
But I mean, obviously, if they want to, the thing is, if they want to grow NXT and give it the best chance to grow,
give it its own time, give it its own night.
I mean, if you really want to, I mean, if NXT and AEW are kind of in the same boat when it comes to their viewership, and just try to beat AEW with NXT, but on its own night, you'll still get that, right at this point, there is that they are linked. AEW and NXT, they are linked because of the Wednesday Night War. It's been almost an entire year of it. They will remain linked even if you have them on separate nights. Then, of course, obviously the danger is if AEW really starts creeping up and starts getting the Raw rating in total viewership. But again, nothing's going to stop that beyond Raw doing better. AEW, they're going to grow or not grow based on their own merit.
Yep.
I don't believe WWE can stunt that to a degree that it's going to take them out of commission.
Yeah, totally. Hellbringer Johnny, genuine question. Did you actually hear Peyton Royce's new theme? I did. Can I whistle it to you? No, but I heard it.
I heard it. I would not be able to recount it to you. You and I kind of differ on this one. I didn't feel it was that generic, and you did. I thought that it was a theme that I'd be happy with, and I think Billy Kay's I was fine with too, because Billy Kay sounds a bit more like the Iconics. It seemed to have more of an identity than Peyton Royce's. I'm not going to say that Peyton Royce is up there with Finn Balor or friggin' Bob Roode or whatever, but I thought it was okay, unless she gets a real gimmick that the music. I mean, that's a problem with Keith Lee's, is that Keith Lee's music really just felt so much like him because it was him on it.
Yeah.
And that's why I think that's what people want. It's like you're stripping away parts of his personality. Brandon Monroe, his first question, asks, what will be Finn Balor's first feud for the title and why? So if I could see it being Ciampa.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if it were Ciampa. Who else though? Take Ciampa and Gargano out of the equation.
Okay, take those guys out.
And Priest, I guess, because he's.
Yeah.
It could be Thatch. If he were to lose against Priest. He's had some run-ins with Finn.
They had a relatively decisive match at TakeOver, though.
Yeah.
I would love that. Don't get me wrong. I'd like that. Kushida's wrapped up with Velveteen Dream right now. That's probably going to be a couple months of that. Are there any other? Oh, well, I don't know when he's going to be back. When's Loomis supposed to be back?
Oh yeah, good question. I don't think we ever heard about the severity of his ankle injury though.
No. Cameron Grimes.
Oh yeah.
Cameron Grimes.
To the moon.
Let's see here. Yellow Tanker. Going back to the 4-way last week in an Iron Man match, instead of everybody kicking out of finishers after being in a match for 45 minutes, doesn't it make more sense for there to be more than a couple pinfalls? I would love to see an Iron Man match finish 8-7 with maybe a big comeback in the final minutes.
They kind of tried that with that Seth Rollins Dolph 30-minute Iron Man match for the Intercontinental title. The one the crowd was more concerned with the clock than the match itself.
Yeah,
they had a bunch of, not a bunch, but I think it was 5-4 the final tally or something like that.
Oh God, was it? That's funny. I don't remember.
There was a lot. Was that Backlash? 2018?
That wasn't on a Raw. I thought they just did that on a Raw.
Pay-per-view.
That was the main event? Oh man, the crowd crapped all over that. That's so rude. You pay a heck of money and you just count down with a clock. What a terrible crowd that is.
They were more worried about the clock.
Oh wow. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, here's the thing though. You got 4 people. They're going to be around to break up pins.
Exactly.
I don't know if 4 people. I don't know if you're going to get 8-7 or 7-8 pins in an Iron Man match.
Yeah, I want to see where this Iron Man match was at. I don't remember. What was the pay-per-view? Extreme Rules 2018.
Okay.
Let's see what the.
Let's see. While you look that up, Alex Foster. So when Breezango eventually lose the tag titles, can we just get Johnny Curtis back? Dude, that's been my thing for years now.
Yeah.
I just want Johnny Curtis back.
I know. Me too.
Although, I don't know, that would probably preclude him from doing the funny hip thrusting. And that is pretty funny stuff.
Unless he does it like ironically.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5-4. It was Dolph won 5-4 in overtime. It went 10 seconds over.
Rich asks, is an Adam Cole call-up imminent now that he's out of the NXT title picture? Man, like you said before, there is not a lot for him to do.
Nope.
Let's see here. Colin Branch. Are they trying to turn Cole face? To me, he seemed very much like the face in the McAfee program, and his promo tonight seemed very not like him. I just hope. He seemed kind of. I'm not going to say boring, but like, if they turn him face, don't just have him be nice guy Adam Cole.
I mean, they might not do a face thing. What the promo was with Adam Cole without that air of confidence. He was still comfortable. He didn't come off. I didn't feel like as boring or bored. He just seemed like, you know what? Might be time for a little bit of a reflection. Same time, though, I'm confident enough in myself that if this match were to happen again, I think I could win.
So I give NXT the benefit of the doubt, and I hope you're right. What I took away from that was I got senioritis, baby, and I don't give a whatever. Yeah, good. Well, any worse for Finn Balor? Yeah, good job. You see how fun it is carrying that title.
Yeah, I had it for more than a year. Oh, you had it for almost a year? I had it for more than a year.
I'm going to go to McDonald's right now. I'm going to get the Cactus Jack. That's how I read it. My read was this. They don't really know what they're going to do with him because Vince probably wants him to call up.
Entirely possible.
That's probably the thing. I hope it's what you're talking about. I hope it was actually just introspection and character. But I don't know.
White Brownie with NXT TakeOver most likely happening next month, October 4th, I think.
Yeah.
Book all the NXT champions and next challengers for the event. So it'd be Finn Balor, probably against Ciampa. I think Ciampa is probably the most likely opponent for his first defense.
North American champion Timothy Thatcher versus Bronson Reed.
There you go.
Versus Damian Priest in a triple threat.
There you go. Tag champs, Breezango against Legado del Fantasma.
Tommaso Ciampa. I know they're not champions, but I want this match anyways. If you're going to give... Who'd you say Balor's going to take on?
Ciampa.
Oh, Ciampa. Okay. Well, never mind then. I was going to say maybe Cameron Grimes versus Bronson Reed.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
And then EO versus... I don't know.
Well, Shotzi.
Yeah, I guess they could have a wonky finish of the match next week and then lead to a takeover match. Okay.
That's got to be more than just a thing next week, yeah.
Dang MQ does the return of Nigel McGuinness. Make you want to watch NXT UK, at least the clips on YouTube. It's not a matter of want, it's just a matter of finding the time. For me, at least.
Now that we're doing this stuff from home, I do find that I have a bit more free time. I mean, sometimes I'm just sitting here like doing graphics for shirts or whatever. I can put it on in the background. I probably will. I mean, it is one of the things that I've always wanted to check it out more. I mean, for example, these days, when things are normal, I'm able to check out Impact now. And I didn't really have the time to do that when we were in the office because honestly, some of it is just being at the office takes up time.
Yeah.
But doing things from here makes things a lot more efficient. So I will probably try to give it some time. Maybe on the weekends, late at night. I don't know.
Gareth, if Robert Stone was brought to Maine without his NXT brand, who could he manage on Raw or SmackDown?
He feels like a SmackDown guy.
Yeah.
SmackDown's a brighter show. He's a brighter comedy guy. Who would he manage on SmackDown? I feel like he could manage somebody in a fun program against Big E. But who would that person be? he would start out with Drew Gulak.
Yeah.
I could see Drew and him being a good pairing.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of either a big man or a woman. I mean, he manages, two women right now. And there's plenty. Dana Brooke. Maybe Lacey Evans.
Mm-hmm. I'm just trying to do something. Who would be in your 4-woman in a fatal 4-way Iron Man match? Let's assume this is NXT. Same scenario or similar scenario.
Well, the two people we saw with that title tonight, Io and Shotzi.
I guess you got to put Rhea in there.
You got to put Rhea in there. I'd probably put Mercedes Martinez in there. That's probably my 4.
That'd be a good match.
That'd
be a good match.
JMC has a comment here. It says, I love how Wade Barrett puts everybody over. I know. I really like him. I like him a lot.
He's good. I hope he sticks around long term.
He always has insight. When they were talking about Finn winning whatever title he won, he was like, I was there in the building. I remember it was great.
I like he's talking about the cage match. He's like, I've been in cage matches against Daniel Bryan, John Cena. They all sucked.
Yeah. Great. That steel digging into your flesh. I know. He's great.
Fantastic.
Oh, that's not a submission.
Diehard Homer Larson, what is better, Sasha versus Bayley in Brooklyn or Andrade versus Gargano? Maybe my 2 favorite NXT matches ever.
Nothing beat the best NXT match in history is Sasha Bayley Brooklyn.
Yeah, agreed.
It's
so damn good.
It's so damn good. You can see how they've even stepped their game up. Just people were talking so much about that SmackDown match with Nia and Shayna.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, man.
This could be off the charts whenever they have their
It's
final
going
match.
to be off the charts. Winner take all at WrestleMania, the main event, Larson.
Yeah. Hellbringer Johnny, I'm sorry, I'm a huge Warhorse fan. In my opinion, Warhorse had his chance taken away by him fighting Cody. Who would you guys think Warhorse would have had a better first match?
So, assuming Warhorse was actually signed by AEW, how would you have started him out?
Have him in a match against Joey Janela.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah, that could be fun. Thank you, Brody Man, for the gifted sub. All right, well, that's going to do it for us today. We'll stick around the Twitch chat and read some more of these highlighted messages. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Apologies for the power outage. Wasn't my fault this time. Till next time, we'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.
Be a part of the best pro wrestling podcast today at patreon.com/Steve and Larson. Enjoy tons of bonus videos, including patron-only live shows, gameplay, and vintage 10 for the wins, access to podcast question threads, the Friendo Care Package, and so much more. Support Going In Raw today at patreon.com/Steve and Larson.